Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. So we are going to do a recap and a review of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 6, titled Mafia Wives and Bad Vibes. Why does it always go down at Angie's house? Woo, child. Remember the big blow up that happened at Angie's house was with Jen Shaw? And now we are at another party and everybody is going for everybody. But let's get started from the top of the episode. Woo, this one was... Grab your beverage of choice because this one was a doozy. Alright, so we start off with... Remember, the last thing we saw last episode was where the ladies, they went ziplining, Heather and with Mary and Brittany and Lisa, they all went ziplining. And we had Mary telling Heather that she's stirring the pot like she's getting things started and stepping back and watch it. So now we start off episode 5 with Angie. We see, let's say shady looking gentleman come and visit Angie. And we're like, okay, what is going on? And the way production set it up where, everything looked kind of dark and mysterious. And like, okay, what is happening? It so happens that Angie is sending out her party invite for her 25th anniversary. So she needed it done a special way. So now she brought somebody in. I think it's one of her employees. She brought in for him to go deliver the invite. So she made up like wanted posters with each lady's name on it, what their nickname is, what they're known for, something dramatic that they've done or something memorable that they've done. So this guy gets his orders from Angie and then he get the posters and he goes to everybody's house and post it up on their front door. So we watch him go to everybody's house. Then we settle on Lisa, where he actually rings the doorbell, wait for her to open, and then he puts it on her door. And she's like, I'm really surprised to get an invite. And John was like, well, I'm surprised you got an invite as well, because her and Lisa, even though they've known each other for 15 years, they're kind of on the outs right now. Remember, they had that fight in Milwaukee at the Harley Davidson Museum. We have Lisa saying that, she's not in her corner. And we also have Angie say like, girl, I give up most of my day to listen to you gripe. And this is what I get. So like they're straying away from each other, even though they've known each other for 15 years. So we have Henry telling, of course, he's in the room. We have Henry telling Lisa that maybe they should have just gone in the ring and boxed it out. And he's like, that's what I do with my friend. And Lisa's like, what? Wait, what? I'm like, oh my God. Henry thought that was funny. He's stirring the pot at his age. Then Henry was like, wait, isn't it Monday? Can we call Jack? So they get on the phone. They call Jack and to see that he's doing well. He's there eating a burger. He's just, enjoying his day. I'm guessing that's the day when they have, downtime. Nobody works on Mondays, they say. So then we also find out a little bit more. Remember, Lisa told us that Jack was having some health issues and they still haven't given him a diagnosis. So he's been taking a test after test after test. And thank God it's nothing major, but they still don't know what's wrong with him. So she's telling him that one of his test results came back and thankfully everything was negative, so they don't have that to worry about this, but they still got to continue taking tests. The whole family talks to him. Father wishes him well. Henry, siblings, how they jab each other, so they did that, and it was just good to see Jack on FaceTime. So now we leave them there, and then we have Whitney and Meredith meeting up for lunch, I believe. Whitney goes in and she apologized to Meredith about accusing her of being the one to try to sabotage her business. Whitney then tells Meredith that she knows it's Lisa who has been trying to sabotage her business. And Meredith was like, well, how do you know that for sure? Whitney goes in and tells her that I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that we know it's her. So Meredith was like, well, girl, you need to talk to her about that, because you don't want to go accusing anybody of something that you're going to have to apologize for later. So then Whitney was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. All right, so that was a short scene. No, she says Lisa is trying to sabotage me. So that was a short scene. Now we see Mary at home, and we get to see Robert again, and this time we get to see Robert's wife. You remember last season, Mary asked Robert, she's like, I'm hearing rumors that you're married. Is it true? And Robert Jr. was like, kind of, sort of, yeah, it's true. So now we get to see his wife, not very clearly, of course. They're both hidden under heavy coat and hat and glasses or whatever, so you can't really see them much. And they're coming in, and Mary's like, where have you been? I've been calling you. Why you didn't answer the phone? And he was like, it didn't go through. Mary's like, don't give me that BS. You know, she said it in a way. Of course, she can't really curse because she's a pastor, you know. Don't give me that BS. And she's like, next time I'm calling you, answer your phone. She's like, I have company coming over. Just don't come out. Don't come out of your room. I'm like, oh shit, Mary's pushing her son in the room. Like, I want you in the house, but I don't want to see you. Not right now. She's mad. She's like, he doesn't listen to her anymore. He only listens to his wife. And I'm like, yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. They say to uncleave from your parents and make a life for yourself. But why is Robert making his life in his mother's house? Why isn't he going out and providing for his wife? And he's still borrowing money from his mom like he's a kid. I'm like, this dude is really married. He's not really taking any responsibility. Mary's saying that, yes, she knows there's something going on with him and she'd rather have him under her roof so she could keep an eye on him to make sure he's safe. Yes, I know he's married. Yes, I know he has a wife, but he's still my baby. But I'm like, I'm looking at the television like sideways, like, come on now. That's not the traditional way to do things. If you're going to be an adult enough to get married, you have to be able to provide for yourself and your family. But apparently there's something going on with Robert Jr. He mumbles under his breath. I'm like, yeah, but I know that's the era we're in with certain kids nowadays. They don't speak up. You're mumbling. You have to ask them to repeat themselves and enunciate and stuff like that. But I'm like, what is going on with this guy? Mary is not loud either, so maybe he's taking on her traits. You know, the genes don't lie, as they say. But maybe it's the way she talks sometimes. But I'm thinking, Mary, you gotta do something different. You know, I'm not judging nobody. It's probably not my business, but you brought it to our TV screen, so I have an opinion. You gotta do something different with Robert. You can't wait for him to, they're gonna say wait for him to grow up, but something gotta give. What is he doing? He's not working. You tell me he's not working. So how is he supporting a wife? And when you have a wife, there comes with privileges and certain things. Pretty soon there's gonna be a baby. And who's gonna take care of everybody? Mary, you? Girl, I don't know. I hope to see more Robert and see him elevate more, because it's not a good look at all. Not at all. And yes, I'm judging. Okay, so she tells him don't come out the room. Then we see Bronwyn comes over. Bronwyn is one of my new favorite now. She comes over with this beautiful orchid. I mean, this thing is in bloom. It got gorgeous, gorgeous flower. And Mary put it right there on the entryway table, and it looks beautiful. A white orchid. See, now that's a gift, because I know that plant wasn't cheap. Orchids are expensive. She looks cute in her red sweater, her long skirt. Mary gives her a compliment to give her a tour of certain parts of the house. And she and Mary have the same style, she says. So they're going to get along very well. The only thing is, Bronwyn, you got to help Mary put her clothes together a little bit better. Maybe you could help her work as her friend / stylist, because she has some beautiful pieces. I mean, this season, she's coming across the screen looking better. But she has some beautiful pieces, and we want to see them all. We want to see her stuff. We want to see your stuff, because your collection is beautiful, in my opinion. So then we have Bronwyn telling Mary that she feels that Heather is throwing a rock and hide her hand this season. And Heather is one of my favorite, because I love her sense of humor. So I'm seeing this side of her, and for the past 4 seasons, she's been the one who's been able to mend everything. But this season, she coming off a little bit messy to me. Or maybe that's the way she was edited, as they say. But it seems like Heather wants people to talk about what's going on between them. and not let it be like the game telephone where this one says this one and she said, he said, whatever. So she's trying to, whenever somebody says something, she's trying to put them face to face and make sure that they have this conversation and that they talk it out. You call that being messy, you call that being a bone carrier, whatever you want to call it. It's called communication. So that's where we are with it. So Mary was telling her, Bronwyn, about when they went ziplining, and she did tell Heather that you're being kind of messy this season and you need to stop. So Mary was like, you need to actually have a conversation with her. They talked about their families and stuff, about Robert Jr. not knowing Mary's parents. She said her father has passed away and never met him. And her mom still don't know Robert Jr. and Bronwyn is telling her the same about with her and Gwen and their grandparents. So they bonded on that as well. And then we have the phone ringing in the background. Mary's like, really? And Bronwyn was like, what? Is that a landline? You still have a landline? Yes, Bronwyn, some people still have a landline. It'll go and come in clutch one day. Don't worry. She got a landline. She's like, you better go answer that. So they laughed on that. And then now we have the day of the party. And girl, this is where you start sipping. But I'm telling you, you're going to be done sipping before the drama ends. So we have everybody coming in. The place is decorated beautifully. I mean, Angie outdid herself. She has the cake. She has 1,000 charcuterie boards lining the table. And everybody is picking and whatever. We have we're not with everybody yet, but she's getting her makeup done, and we have her daughter Electra comes in the room, and we have Angie trying to sound hip, and she said something, and her daughter's like, oh my God, don't ever talk like that again. And then Angie's like, so what are they saying nowadays? And she says a word, and her daughter is like, oh my God, Mom, please don't talk like that again. I thought that was funny. They have a great relationship. Of course, the people who are doing her makeup found that to be funny as well. Because kids nowadays, they have the slang that they use and it changes so often. So by the time we as adults catch on, we're like way, way in the dark. And they're like, And then when you say something, they look at you like you still make you feel like you stupid. Like, what are you saying? But yeah, that was funny to see her and her daughter. And like I said, she was getting her makeup done with the ladies. And then, we at the party. We see her father comes with her aunt. Her father's sister came. They greeted each other. Throughout the evening, we see Angie's husband. They have a flashback saying that he didn't want Meredith in the house anymore because Meredith was trying to spread rumors about their marriage, say they're part of the Greek Mafia, and that her husband swing the other way. So he was like, I don't ever want to see her in the house again. So when Angie sat him down and was like, you know what, I'm trying to turn the leaf. I'm going to invite her. He's like, well, you could go ahead and invite her, but I really didn't want to look over and see Meredith standing in a corner after what she's done to try and destroy our families. So he was like, all right, let's see how it works. You know what? We're going to hire some bodyguards because if she starts acting up, all I'm going to say is security, escort her out. He's like, I'm not going to get into it with them. So everybody comes now. They are greeting each other, small talk, you look beautiful, you look beautiful. I mean, Angie's dress was gorgeous. The crystal details and stuff, gorgeous. And the color is also beautiful. It looks really good on her. Everybody came in. I loved Bronwyn's bright blue gown. It is gorgeous. She said I was giving, and she came in with a scarf wrapped around her head, like tied under the chin. And she was like, I was trying to go for my godfather is dead and I'm still mourning. That's the look I was going for. That was nice. So we see Heather come in. She brings a big gift. I forget what she said was in it, but she's the only one who came in with a gift in hand. I'm guessing the other ladies probably had their gift in the car or they just didn't have one. So now everybody's walking around, just chit-chat and making small talk. And then we see Brittany. Brittany comes in the door and she is not with Jared. She is with somebody named Aaron. Take a sip, girl. And then Heather's like, wait a minute, I know him. I'm like, oh shit, what? How you know him, Heather? Huh? How you know him? So somebody asked her that and she's like, we've dated. And then she goes over and she gives Aaron a hug before she even greets Brittany. She's like, hi, good to see you. She turns around right away. And I guess, she want to make it known that you can't use my tea against me. She tells Brittany, listen, we've dated. Brittany's like, what? Yeah, we've kissed. And then we goes in the confessional. Producer asks her, like, how well do you know Aaron? And she's like, yeah, Salt Lake is a small city. Everybody has dated everybody. I know Aaron. And she does the face like, yeah, I know Aaron. We all know what that means, Heather. So, okay. They get in. Mary goes over and she's like, hi, Jared. And somebody's like, no, Mary, that's not Jared. That's Aaron. She's like, that's Jared. That's Jared. She goes over to Meredith. Meredith, that's Jared. Meredith's like, no, let me Google him. She's like, turn around and look. Meredith was like, no, I'm going to Google him. She's like, that is not the same person. So, okay, we leave that there. And then we have Bronwyn pull Angie to the side. Maybe he's leaving out some things. But we have Bronwyn pull Angie to the side. And she's like, this is what's going on. We have Heather telling Lisa that you are criticizing Lisa's parenting skills. And of course, Angie immediately got upset. And Bronwyn was like, you know what? Everybody's talking about everybody. And I think it's time that people talk to each other. So when you get a chance, you make sure that you talk to Heather about what she said. Then now we have, we left them in the corner. We move over to Brittany talking to Lisa. Remember, Brittany had already told Lisa, stay out of my business. You didn't need to call Jared and behave the way you did. So Brittany apologized to Lisa. And Lisa's like, I understand, what you're going through because I had somebody like him in my life who I was engaged to for 3 times. We kept breaking up and getting back together. So I see the pattern, the behavior that is it, and I don't want you to go down that lane. So now we have Mary come over and say, like, what are y'all talking about? Lisa was like, we talk about you. And Brittany was like, no, we're not talking about you. And then they tell him what's happening. And Mary was like, remember, Lisa, when we went ziplining, I had to step to Heather and tell her that, what you're doing is wrong. You're stirring things up and you're not taking accountability. And then right then and there, I guess Heather heard her name and came over like, what y'all talking about? And Mary was like, yeah, we talk about you. Like, what? She's like, you're not being a good friend. Of course, Heather is with the face where she draws back and clutching her imaginary purse like, girl, what are you saying? I'm not a friend to you or whatever. So they got into a little heated back and forth. And then they're like, all right, we're done. Let's hug it out. Mary was like, no, I don't want to hug. Mary goes over and she sits on the sofa on the corner. And it so happens that Electra and her friend is sitting there, the 2 little teenage girl. And Mary goes, wow, that was a big fight. But I think we're good now. And Electra was like, what happened? As if to say, what happened, girl? And Mary was like, women. And she's like, but I think we're good. I think I said what I had to say. I feel better. And I think Lisa and I are on good terms. The little girls are looking at her like, Lord lady, why are you coming over here with your problems? We're just looking and enjoying the party. Because it's their anniversary party. So before all of that argument started happening, we had Angie's dad go up and give a nice little toast. He gave a speech about how when he first met Angie's husband, he didn't like him the way he looked because he had long hair and stuff, and he didn't think that he was right for his daughter. But he gave him a chance, gave him their blessing, and because of his blessing, they're married for 25 years. And with his continued blessing, he knows that they'll be married for another 25, and he'll be there to actually give a speech as far as wishing them well. So all right, I needed to throw that piece in there. So okay, with Mary singing, now she's talking to the girls. Now we have Whitney pulling Lisa to the side, and this is where it get heated because I could talk about the whole episode, but just giving you the summary. So we have Whitney step into Lisa like, Lisa, I talked to somebody and I found out you the one trying to sabotage my business. Lisa's like, what the fuck you talking about? Now it's loud. Everybody stops and focus on them. Whitney, you're wrong. I did not do that to you. I did not do that to you. Give me a name right now. So everybody's looking over there like, she pulls out her phone and she's calling somebody. She's like, Mark or somebody. I forgot what name she called. She's like, I need an investigation open. And I want to go the distance on this one. I want to go the distance. I'm going to send you a name and I want you to investigate them. I need you to get the LAPD involved and I need you to get Salt Lake Police involved because Whitney is accusing me and she is wrong. I didn't do that to you. So, of course, Whitney is still trying to talk at a monotone voice. She's trying to keep it low. But Lisa is yelling. Everybody is looking. John and Justin are standing next to each other. Remember, now they're friends. Woo, child. That one I didn't like to see because I'm like, now they've gotten the husbands involved. Maybe Whitney should not have brought it up at the party. She should have gotten Lisa in a private setting. And she might, John and Justin might have been okay. So then Lisa walks away from Brittany and she goes over to John. She's like, John, how do you deal with, Justin, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with living with a liar? And Justin was like, don't call my wife a liar. And she's like, she's a liar. She's a liar. And then somehow, I don't know what happened, but John and Justin are now face to face. And now they're about to go to blows. And that is where the episode ended. To be continued. So now we have one of my two favorite guys. Of course, Coach Shaw is not there anymore to help calm things down because Jen is not there. But how is it going to look with Coach Shaw still being part of it? But John and Justin are about to go to blows because of somebody, Lisa allegedly trying to sabotage Whitney's business. And that's not a good look. The guys are cool. They're not involved in this. This is not their problem. So I didn't like seeing that part at all. But it looks like Lisa and Whitney are about to go at it. Lisa told Whitney, I'm going to investigate this and I'm going to sue whoever and you're going to owe me money. That's what Lisa told that's what Lisa told Whitney. She's like, when I get through this and you find out that it's not me, you're going to owe me a big apology and you're going to owe me money as well. So that is where we are with it. All these ladies are confronting each other. Oh, one scene I forgot that made me like, what? Everybody was like, what? So while we're there enjoying watching them the party, the front door opens and who comes in? Jared. Jared walks in and everybody's like, what the hell are you doing here? Who invited him? Come to find out, we see an hour earlier, we flashback, we see the producers filming Justin, Whitney's husband, inviting Jared to the party. And Whitney goes in a confessional like, poor guy, he just don't know what he just did. He didn't know what was going on with Brittany and Jared. He don't know about the relationship or anything, but all he know, he's in the party enjoying himself. Jared is his friend and he's going to invite him to the party. So we see Jared come in. We see Brittany breaking down. She's surprised. She stepped back away from Aaron out of his embrace. Aaron's hand was holding the small of her back. That drops to his side. It's like, okay, we've been caught. But they're not in a relationship. They're broken up, right? Remember the last episode we saw? They were broken up. And he was like, let's stick a pin in it. We're just friends. So what are you doing here confusing the girl? So they're like, can we step out on the balcony and talk? That was Jared. He comes outside. He's like, I didn't mean to come and upset you. Do you want me to leave? And I'm like, yes, you need to go. And Brittany was like, no. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? So they go back in the party. He goes back and he hangs with his friends. He was like, oh, the charcuterie board is nice. I think that's a running joke amongst these housewives shows, the charcuterie board and the sprinter van. If you don't have those two things in your show, it's not going to do well. You must have at least a charcuterie board at every function. So if you have 15 episodes, we're going to have 15 different charcuterie board. So, okay, they go back to the party. Brittany goes back to Aaron and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was going to happen. At some point, you see Mary talking to Aaron, and she's like, how long you been dating? And he was like, a couple of months. I've only been dating her a couple of months. We've known each other for a long time. But Brittany told us how she met Aaron. He was on a dating app. And that's what she said when she broke up with Jared. She's like, I'm going to hit the ground running. That's right, girl. Date like a white girl. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't get in no long relationships and wait for this man to break your heart and stress you out. Drop him and keep going. So she's like, she met him on a dating app. And that's how they're dating. And Mary is asking me, how long you know? He said a couple of months. So she tells Jared, no, I'm jumping back and forth. She tells Jared that You can't keep doing this, you know. You say we're not together, yet you show up and expect me to be okay with it. She said, you know, I love you with all my heart, but for me to get over you, I have to, you know, be away from you. So he's like, I understand, and I'm sorry that this is the way it is, but, you know, I still have feelings for you and stuff like that. So she went back to the party, and she finished out the party with Aaron. But it was just a clutch your pearl moment. Like, what are you doing here? We have everybody looking on. We have Whitney and Heather laughing. I'm not sure if they were laughing at that, but the way production edited, it looked like they were laughing at the fact that Brittany was in a party with two guys. We had Branwy asking Brittany, do you want me to give you a hug? Brittany was like, yes, I could use one right now. We have Lisa asking, you know, let me wipe your tears. Oh, somebody was wiping her tears with a napkin, and Lisa was like, you gotta use the corners. And I'm like, girl, if you want to know how to use a napkin properly, you need to go over to Real Housewives of Potomac. And even though she's not on this season, ask Candace how you use a folded napkin to wipe your tears and not mess up your makeup, okay? So yeah, that was how it was with them. So we left the party. We're still at the party actually, but we at the party with Lisa screaming at Whitney, and Whitney's like, the way Lisa is behaving, that's how I know she knows she's caught. Because when she knows she's in trouble, that's what she does. She get angry and she get loud. So yeah, that was the episode. Hopefully you still got some of your beverage left, because that was a lot of information right there. Everybody's fighting everybody. We have Heather against who we have Heather against? Against Lisa and Mary. We have Branwy against Heather as well, because Branwy is like, listen, I'm not gonna let y'all just leave me at the wayside. I'm coming in here to stir some up. I'm like, okay. And then we have Whitney and Lisa going at it, but that seems to be the biggest one. We have Meredith trying still not to be, I'm not engaged. I'm not getting engaged. I'm not getting engaged. So we still have Meredith kind of putting her toe in and stepping back, in and back. So she's not trying to get on anybody's nerves, especially in Angie's house, because Angie's husband does not want her there, and she knows this. So yeah, girl, that was the recap and the review of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I told you, this franchise was one of my favorites. I keep telling you guys this. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 6, titled Mafia Wives and Bad Vibes. I'm like, I wanted the comic relief from Heather, but it's not coming this season so far, because Heather is getting too messy for you, girl. You need to switch it up, turn this around, and let's move forward. So guys, thank you for watching my video. Make sure that you check out the links in the description. Make sure that you like this video, leave a comment, share this video, and until next time, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye-bye.